5 on our list of the top 10 scariest encounters, the Landrum Incident.
Dayton, Texas, December 29th, 1980. 7-year-old Colby Landrum is with his grandmother and her friend, driving along a desolate 2-lane road when they have a life-changing experience.
Betty Cash, my grandmother Vicki Landrum, and myself headed back home towards Dayton. It was real late at night, nobody else on the road, and we encountered a bright object. It actually looked just like about the size of a water tower, 100 foot across, 100 foot tall, but in a diamond shape. I just panicked. I got in the floorboard.
This is Vicki Landrum from Dayton, Texas. A deer come down and it was like fire was coming from it. Right ahead of us and we wanted to stop. We got out of the car. It come down almost to the treetop. And then it went back up and went to the right of it. And we tried 23 helicopters.
Betty Cash and Vicki Landrum stopped the car to investigate, and the local environment is actually being heated by this object to the point where they try to touch their car, and it's hot to the touch.
You could feel the heat off of it. The heat was very intense. It was hot enough for when she grabbed the dash when we stopped. I mean, it was an indentation of where her hand was sitting.
Now, what makes this unique is that when they get home, after a couple of days, they start to show symptoms of being exposed to ionized radiation.
After the incident, all 3 witnesses were treated for radiation exposure.
I got nauseous and sick. It probably lasted 2 or 3 days with me. My grandmother, she had the same symptoms, but she also had blisters on her skin. They would bust open, and she'd have sores for several years after that. Betty Cash suffered the most severe part of it. She was out of the car the longest. According to the doctors, she had the most exposure to it.
The women blamed the U.S. government for this. And this then became a very well-known court case where they were suing the U.S. government, essentially.
For help with their case, Betty Cash and Vicki Landrum turned to investigators with MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network.
MUFON investigators got the witness statements, gathered the evidence, including things like medical records, which were central to the legal case. And although the witnesses didn't win their case, what's important was that that gets it on the record.
Today, the Cash-Landrum incident is one of the most famous and harrowing UFO encounters in recent history.
I remember being there, and I know what happened. I want somebody to come forward and actually, admit that something happened there. I just want to know the truth.